Good evening, Canada. We are back with our episode of Voice of Canada this week. As we have our guest is a federal minister and the member of parliament, so we will be playing our national anthem of Canada.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the truth north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Welcome back after reciting our Canadian national anthem. We welcome everyone in our show. Our main guest is MP Rechie Valdez, who is also the Minister of Small Business in Canada. My co-host Cindy Young. And we would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and Happy Boxing Day. Go ahead.
A warm welcome, everyone, to our show of Voice of Canada. And once again, a very Merry Christmas to everyone and a Happy Boxing Day. I'm Cindy Young, and I'm the co-host for this evening's show. And a very, very special welcome to our special guest today as well. So the first question is, as a small business minister, what have you been able to deliver for small businesses this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Boxing Day.
Happy Boxing Day.
Yes. For everyone, thank you so much again, Cindy and Aspie, for having me on Voice of Canada. Very important show to get the voice for all Canadians and small businesses. And our government has been working really hard. I've been here on the show multiple times when inflation was high, and I'm happy to say that our economic plan is working and our inflation is down to 2%.
Amazing.
And our interest rates from the Bank of Canada have come down not just once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, but it's now down for the 5th time in a row to the lowest point it's been in a long time. So we're really, small businesses appreciate
Making
it.
a difference.
Canadians appreciate it. And of course, for those who are enjoying the holiday season, we have our GST and HST holidays.
Yes.
So it's been really
People
great.
are really enjoying and appreciating it.
Yeah, you go to the grocery store and you're like,
whoa.
It
should be more than this.
Making a big difference.
100%.
Yes, absolutely.
And what's great is that with the GST holiday, it doesn't just benefit Canadians when they're purchasing things, but it actually benefits small businesses. And in particular, if you think about like restaurants.
Yes.
Restaurants who were
They're
the
doing
hardest
the roaring
hit.
business because last week
Exactly.
we were dining out and I could see people are really out to take the grab of HST.
And because the holiday is continuing all the way to February 15th,
that's right.
What happens with restaurants in particular is they have a lower slump during January and February after the holiday season, but now they're going to have continued sales all the way through to January and February as well, which is fantastic.
Amazing. Absolutely.
It's up to the Valentine's Day.
Yes, all the way up to Valentine's Day.
That's right.
And so what we've done is we've lowered taxes. We have introduced the GST holiday to benefit Canadians and small businesses. We're also delivering the Canada carbon rebates. I spoke about it a few shows back with you, but now I can say that those small businesses across Canada, close to 600,000 small businesses, are going to be receiving $2.5 billion. And if you're in Ontario, and you're a corporation, that is valued at $401 per employee.
Wow.
So let's just say you're in Mississauga, you're a corporation with 10 employees, that's $4,010. So it's a real savings, and you should check your bank accounts or the checks in the mail. You'll be receiving your Canada carbon rebate.
For them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's really great.
Amazing. Yeah,
the government is really taking initiative for the Canadians.
100%. And the final thing is we've also, for those who are in businesses that transact with Visa and MasterCard, as of October, the interchange fees are being reduced by up to 27%.
Wow.
So that's a huge savings for those who have high
credit. It was 29% or maybe more.
It's up to 27%.
27
It's
now.
going down.
It's going down from
Because
there.
when you and I go to a restaurant or a business and you use your Visa or your MasterCard, the business gets charged an interchange fees.
Oh,
so
that's
those
right.
interchange fees are
Relief
being reduced.
Will also be reduced.
You got it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Honorable
great.
Minister, inform our viewers and us that supporting young entrepreneurs is a vital for Canada. And our main business is small business. Our economy depends on that. So what have you been doing and what initiatives you have taken by our ministry?
Well, both of you know I was a former small business entrepreneur, baker. I do miss baking once in a while. But what we've done is, when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I was in my mid-30s. I had kids and a lot of responsibilities. Young entrepreneurs have bright, innovative ideas, and we've invested $60 million into Futurepreneur Canada.
Yeah.
This organization provides loans and supports, but also mentorship to help young people get the type of support they need right when they start. And we've invested an additional amount of money to help that mentorship continue for 2 years.
Awesome.
So at least if you're on your journey, you need help, you need
you got the
mentorship,
support.
you've got the support
That's
as
amazing.
a young Canadian entrepreneur.
Oh, that's
Beautiful.
awesome.
Beautiful.
Amazing. So what will your focus be as a Minister of Small Businesses in 2025?
Well, again, continuing to help make life more affordable for small businesses is a huge priority. With the fall economic statement, which just was released, when it comes to small businesses, one of the things that really benefited small businesses right after the pandemic was our Canada Digital Adoption Program. So we're trying to help small businesses become more digital.
Oh.
Very good.
We know that's the future, but it's hard to transition to become more digital.
Yes.
And so through our budget, fall economic statement, we're putting in an additional $500 million towards digital adoption.
Wow.
To help focus on small businesses transition, especially when it comes to using artificial intelligence.
Sure. It's the way of the world now.
100%.
Yes. Yeah.
Honorable Minister, inform our viewers more highlights of our economic statement. Well, what were the main highlights?
100%. So the first one I already mentioned was the GST holiday, really important to help Canadians and small businesses. What we're doing in addition to the housing investment we made of $113 million is we're continuing to invest a lot in housing. We know that housing is such a big demand. We believe that Canadians deserve a place to call home.
Absolutely.
And the only way that we're going to be able to do that is to build more homes, make more affordable homes, build more apartment buildings, and through our fall economic statement, we're enabling longer-term amortization mortgages for Canadians to benefit from.
30 years?
You got it. So up to 30 years, you'll be able to benefit with longer amortizations. It makes your monthly payments a lot more affordable. This will also help the average Canadian afford the home that they need. So we need to build more so there's more supply. And then we need to make it a bit more affordable for Canadians to actually invest into affording their first home.
Oh, amazing.
Go ahead.
So you did already touch a little bit on this, but housing affordability is a major issue right now, and particularly here in Mississauga. While municipalities and provinces play a significant role, what is the federal government doing to address the crisis here?
Across nationally, we're investing $4 billion towards close to $4 billion in housing. But if we take a look at Mississauga alone, the demand is so great.
Yes.
The mayor of Mississauga recently said that our investments have been the largest investment that any government has ever made into the city of Mississauga. $113 million to build 35,000 new homes over the course of the decade.
Wow.
But what's important here is it's not just about building more homes. It's actually building them where there's the higher densification, like GO train station, that could be Mississauga, GO Streetsville, or Meadowvale. And we're also trying to remove some of the barriers and the red tape that is in the way of building more homes. But we're doing that by working directly with the city of Mississauga and working with them to develop the plans. They know what's best for the city, and we're providing the funding available for it. It's just unfortunate that the Conservative government, they want to actually cut that funding.
Cut that funding, correct.
But we can't have that cut because we need to continue.
You need to continue to grow
to build
this,
more
yes,
homes.
absolutely.
Rechie, the unfortunate incident happened about 10 days ago when a deputy prime minister and a finance minister stepped down. So would you give us some highlight on that issue?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I've had the pleasure of working with our former Deputy Prime Minister and Minister
Chrystia
of Finance.
Freeland.
Yeah, Chrystia Freeland. She's not just a colleague of mine, she's a friend of mine as well. We worked on many important files together. And thanks to her leadership, we've been able to put things like our national, early learning and childcare program, our national food program.
Wow.
So I've had the pleasure of working with her. I, thank her for everything that she's done, especially as a woman politician.
Absolutely.
And her leadership. And I will continue to work with her, in the coming days and months as she still remains as a member of
She's done
Parliament.
amazing things, yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope she continues in the politics and with the
Yes.
Liberal Party.
100%. She's not going anywhere. She's still going to be
She's an asset
an
because
MP.
she's from
Yes.
Toronto.
For sure.
So
Yes.
that she holds a very important
She absolutely
riding.
does, and she's done amazing things.
You're
yeah.
University Rosedale, am I right? Yeah.
She's in Rosedale, yes.
Rosedale, yeah.
Aspie knows his stuff.
So we'll be taking a short break and be back with you soon. Welcome back after a short break. Your host Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my co-host Cindy Young, in our weekly talk show Voice of Canada. And our guest this evening is our Honorable Minister Small Business and a Member of Parliament from Mississauga, Streetsville, and now it's known as Meadowville also, the new riding. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Rechie, for nearly fourth or fifth time in our show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So the carbon tax has been a heated topic of discussion. Could you explain why this policy is important and how it benefits Canadians and businesses?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, first and foremost, I think for those who are in Mississauga, particularly around where you live, Aspie, the Lisgar area,
Lisgar and Meadowville.
we've been negatively impacted by the floods.
Mhm.
That's been impacted
Yes.
also by the severe floodings we experienced this year, or even like wildfires. I think it's important for us to fight climate change. Our government acknowledges that climate change is real. And the way that we're addressing it is by putting a price on pollution. So if you're home or in any which way that you produce pollution, there will be a price on pollution. However, 8 out of 10 Canadians receive more money back through the Canada carbon rebates. And it isn't just going to benefit Canadians or Ontarians. It's actually going to benefit, as I already mentioned, small businesses. So we're returning the Canada carbon rebates to $2.5 billion going out to the small businesses. So we're fighting climate change. And the good news is our emissions in Canada have been the lowest it's ever been in a very long time. And that's really because we're trying to
That's good news.
curb all the emissions that are being produced by all the different ways that we're doing it.
That's
and I think it's very positive change, and this will dramatically help our future. This is going to help future generations. And I think the narrative out there is that the price on pollution is affecting inflation, but it's not. There was a recent report published by the University of Calgary that said the price on pollution has only impacted inflation by 0.5%.
Oh, like nothing.
Which is very minimal.
Very minimal.
So that is it's just to debunk what's out there.
Yeah.
But what it's really doing is putting more money back into the pockets of Canadians.
Yes.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, please inform our viewers and us that many of our critics argue that the carbon tax increased costs for Canadians. What are your response to this concern?
Yeah, as I said, look, I acknowledge that, putting a price on pollution is our way of ensuring that we're able to fight climate change, which is real. It's going to impact our planet. It's going to impact us regular Canadians. And I was just, as I've been door knocking and meeting with residents right in our riding, Aspie, they've told me they've been frustrated with the level of flooding that's been happening. And residents who've lived there for like 30 years have never seen.
Years. I had never experienced in my house and my basement was flooded.
Exactly. Our weather is changing, and that's having negative impacts on us. And I think the impact on small businesses, more than half of small businesses have been affected by climate change as well. This is very real, and the price on pollution is our way of addressing it while still giving money back to Canadians through the Canada carbon rebate.
Right.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Canada's relationship with the U.S. is always significant, and with the possibility of new tariffs being introduced by the incoming U.S. administration, what steps is your government taking to protect Canadian businesses?
Yeah, I think this is a great question. It's a question that
Everyone's talking about this right
Everybody's
now.
concerned now.
Yes.
All Canadians are very much concerned
yeah.
for this issue of President Trump putting a tariff
Yeah.
on us.
Well, the Prime Minister visited Mar-a-Lago not too long ago before the break and had a productive meeting along with President-elect Trump. And that was a very productive meeting. And since those discussions, we're going to continue to build. What's important is building people-to-people ties and relations.
Sure.
Because the U.S. is one of our largest trading partners. It's very important, not just for Canadians, but also the small businesses. 100%.
Yes.
And so we're going to use a Team Canada approach, working with all premiers across Canada, working with them to really advocate for Canadians and small businesses. And we're going to continue to do that. And the only way we can do that is to continue to have dialogue with them.
Keep communication open.
So for this reason, any team has been formed, because on his return from Mar-a-Lago, he spoke to press that they will be forming a team from Canadian side. So we would negotiate with the US.
100%. And our government, along with the Prime Minister and all the appropriate ministers, are going to be there at the table to continue to have that dialogue. But we're going to work along with the premiers across all of Canada to ensure that we're taking, again, it's this Team Canada approach to really stand up for Canadians, to stand up to advocate for Canadians as a whole. And I think that's really important. If we continue to do that, then we will continue to have that dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yours, 12.
Rechie, do you believe that Canada is heading towards the early elections? And if that's so, are you prepared for your party and in your riding?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Aspie, Cindy, we're in a minority government. We have been for the past 3 years. And as a minority government, it's important that we work collaboratively with our different colleagues from across the way, and we will continue to do that. We're going to continue to fight for Canadians. We're not going to do anything except for be there for Canadians, to fight for affordability, as we've already talked about, to fight for the things that matter, and to keep pushing for the important policies to keep moving forward. And again, we will continue to work with all of our colleagues from across all the different opposition groups. And you know me, Aspie, I will continue to fight for.
Definitely.
Our riding has 118,000 constituents. I'll continue to advocate for them. Even though I'm a minister, my number one job is being an MP for Mississauga Streetsville, and I will continue to advocate for them.
Definitely. So you're all set to go for early elections also, because unfortunately we are having the elections few months earlier. Otherwise, it was due in October 2025.
Yeah, I think I'm going to continue to advocate for Canadians, and I will not stop doing that. And whenever an election is called, then we will go into an election.
Definitely.
Very good. So as we close out 2024, what is your message to the people of the Peel region this holiday season?
Give a strong message to your constituents, the people of Canada, and all business owners.
Yeah, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, happy holidays. It's been a very busy time of the year, but it's really important that we take this time of the year to unwind and spend time with our families, to recharge our batteries. I'm doing it myself. And of course, from a small business perspective, it's important to continue to support our local businesses, especially because now we still have the GST holiday until February 15th.
Yes.
So get out there and support our local businesses.
Absolutely.
Yes, and have some time out.
So with that note of our Honorable Minister Rechie Valdez of Small Business and a member MP of Mississauga Streetsville and Meadowville, we would like to thank you from your hectic schedule. You made time on even a holiday.
And I want to thank you, Aspie, because Aspie is such a big advocate for small businesses.
It was always a pleasure to have you. My show is always open for you.
Thank you.
As and when you wish to come, just pick up a phone and inform us, and we will give you a slot without fail.
100%. Thank you to the Voice of Canada team who is working on Boxing Day. Can I just say
Yes.
that? Cindy, so happy. Yes, 100%.
When our minister is working, why can't we work?
Exactly. We'll be here too.
So with that note from our minister, we would be soon signing off from our this week's episode of Voice of Canada. I would like to remind our viewers to keep watching our show every Saturday at 8 p.m. as now we are on Rogers and Shar TV cable networks also, and all our components TV, and we can be watched around the world. So wish you once again, everyone, very happy Christmas, happy New Year, and happy Boxing Day. With that note, I would say good night, goodbye, and adios.
Good night.
Good night.